The bold and the beautiful, shocking twist. Taylor Hayes is pregnant amid emotional upheaval, and a new romance with Deacon, a bombshell, is detonating in Los Angeles. And the aftershocks are going to rip through every corner of the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. In a storyline nobody saw coming, Taylor Hayes discovers she's pregnant, just as she's trying to close the door on Ridge Forrester and open her heart to someone new. Deacon Sharp. What was supposed to be a clean break, a fresh start, and maybe even a second chance at love becomes a complicated emotional storm that Taylor may not be prepared to face. It starts quietly. Taylor, still emotionally bruised from Ridge's sudden and final recommitment to Brooke Logan, tries to do what she's always told her patients: move forward, let go of the past, heal. And in her attempt to do just that, she starts seeing Deacon not as a client, not as a friend, as something more. Deacon, raw and vulnerable after his own imploding marriage to Sheila Carter Sharp, finds comfort in Taylor's steady presence. And Taylor, though cautious, lets herself believe that maybe this is the kind of love that isn't a triangle, that isn't about winning someone, that maybe, finally, this is about her. They begin to spend more time together. They talk, they laugh, they lean on each other. And then, one night, they stop holding back. For Taylor, it's not just about passion. It's about reclaiming a part of herself that's been on hold for too long. For Deacon, it's a chance to feel wanted, respected, and seen. But neither of them realizes that this single act will become a turning point in their lives. Weeks pass. Taylor tries to stay focused on her career, her children, her peace. But something is wrong. She starts feeling off, lightheaded, fatigued, nauseous. At first, she brushes it off as stress, residual tension from the Ridge Brooke debacle, or maybe just the emotional fatigue of starting over again. But as the days roll on, the symptoms intensify. Her instincts tell her something's not right. Or worse, that something is very right, in a way she didn't plan for. She doesn't say anything to Deacon. Not yet. She doesn't even want to speak the possibility out loud. Instead, she makes an appointment with Dr. John Finnegan, hoping for peace of mind. A negative test. Anything to settle the knot of anxiety growing in her stomach. But what she gets is anything but. Even Finn, experienced and measured, is stunned by the results. Taylor Hayes is pregnant. There's no ambiguity. No, maybe. It's happening. At a time in her life when everything feels uncertain. When she's still recovering from heartbreak. When she's just barely stepping into something new with a man who's still scarred from Sheila. It's the last thing she expected. And the one thing that could destroy everything she's trying to build. Finn, professional but visibly shaken, tries to offer support. He knows Taylor. He respects her. But he also knows what this means. The implications. The history. The timing. Taylor doesn't react immediately. She just sits, frozen, as if her world has tilted sideways and she's still waiting for it to steady. Because what this means, what she knows it means, is that she now has to make a choice. Tell Deacon? Risk shattering whatever fragile beginning they're building? Or worse, tell Ridge? Because deep down, as much as she wants to believe this baby is a symbol of new life, new love, she doesn't know. She can't be sure. The timing lines up too closely with the last night she and Ridge were together. That final night when they said goodbye. When Ridge came to her in one last wave of confusion, guilt, and emotion before recommitting to Brooke for good. It was messy. It was raw. But it happened. And if that night turns out to be the beginning of this pregnancy, everything unravels. Now, Taylor is faced with an impossible question. Is Ridge the father, or is Deacon? And it doesn't stop there. Because regardless of whose child it is, Taylor is suddenly the center of a firestorm that could burn through every alliance she has left. If Ridge finds out, it could detonate his fragile marriage to Brooke. If Brooke finds out, she won't stay silent. And if Deacon finds out, and learns the child may not even be his, it could drive him right back into the destructive spiral that Taylor's been trying to pull him out of. For now, Taylor keeps the secret. She tells Finn she needs time to think, to breathe, to process. But time is not a luxury she has. The symptoms are becoming harder to hide. The emotional toll is growing heavier. And in the middle of it all, Deacon is falling harder for her by the day. He's opening up in ways he never has before. He's imagining a future, maybe for the first time ever, that doesn't involve drama or regret. Just peace, love, Taylor. But that illusion can't hold forever. Taylor begins pulling away, subtly at first. Canceling plans, dodging calls, making excuses. Deacon notices. His paranoia begins to rise. And Ridge? He's still basking in the calm after choosing Brooke, unaware that his past may be about to crash back into his life in the most life-altering way possible. Meanwhile, back at Forrester Creations, Brooke senses something is wrong. She sees Taylor's absence. She hears whispers. And she knows that when Taylor disappears, it's never for no reason. Brooke's radar is up, and history has taught her to follow her instincts. Especially when it comes to Ridge. She presses Ridge about it, casually at first. But the tension builds. If Brooke finds out that Ridge may have fathered another child with Taylor again, it will be the final straw. She won't tolerate another secret. Not from him. Not from Taylor. And certainly not when everything was finally beginning to feel stable. Taylor's internal conflict reaches a breaking point. She can't keep lying. Not to herself. Not to Deacon. Not to Ridge. She begins drafting a letter, a confession, explaining everything. The pregnancy. The timing. The uncertainty. The fear. She doesn't send it, but she writes it, reads it, rewrites it, deletes it, rewrites it again. Because every word she puts on the page feels like a countdown to chaos. And the question remains, who is the father? A paternity test could give her clarity, but also consequences. If it's Ridge's, she's thrust back into the triangle she swore she escaped. If it's Deacon's, she may have to face the fact that her new relationship is now burdened by doubt, mistrust, and a child that wasn't planned, wanted, or expected. The week ends with Taylor alone in her room, staring at a sonogram photo she hasn't shown anyone. Her phone buzzes. A text from Deacon. Dinner tonight? Just us. No drama. She doesn't reply, because the truth is, the drama has already begun. And it's growing inside her. Heartbeat by heartbeat. This is the bold and the beautiful. And for Taylor Hayes, everything is about to change. The bold and the beautiful, the fallout. Ridge chooses Taylor. Brooke explodes. And Deacon waits in the wings. The shocking pregnancy twist involving Taylor Hayes continues to ripple through the bold and the beautiful universe. And now the emotional stakes reach a boiling point. With the truth finally out, and the paternity mystery lingering like a storm cloud, the characters make impossible choices, each more devastating than the last. After days of soul-searching, Taylor finally tells both Ridge Forrester and Deacon Sharp about her pregnancy. She lays it out, raw, honest, vulnerable. She doesn't know who the father is. The timeline is too close. It could be either of them. But what she does know is that she's keeping the baby. And she needs to decide what kind of future she wants for herself and her child. Ridge is floored. For a moment, he says nothing. Then he takes a breath, and everything changes. In a bold, unexpected move, Ridge tells Taylor that he's done with Brooke. He says the marriage was built on fear of losing her to someone else, on nostalgia, not reality. He admits he's always loved Taylor, and if there's a chance this child is his, he wants to be there. From the very beginning. No hesitation. No second guessing. He ends things with Brooke Logan that same night. The confrontation is brutal. Brooke is blindsided. She laughs at first, thinking Ridge is confused again, caught up in guilt or obligation. But Ridge is firm. He's not wavering. I can't do this anymore, Logan, he says. I have to be honest, with you, and with myself. Brooke's heartbreak turns to fury. She accuses Taylor of manipulating him. She calls the pregnancy a trap. She demands to know when it happened. Was it before the wedding? Was Ridge ever truly back with her, or just buying time? But Ridge doesn't back down. This isn't about manipulation, he says. This is about me doing what I should have done a long time ago. Standing by Taylor, the scene leaves Brooke reeling. She's not just hurt, she's humiliated. In her mind, she won Ridge. He was hers. And now, he's walking away because of a baby that might not even be his? She swears revenge. And in true Brooke fashion, she won't let this betrayal go quietly. Meanwhile, Taylor is caught between two men and two futures. Ridge offers comfort, stability, a family. But Taylor can't ignore the lingering complications. Brooke isn't going to disappear. The Forresters will always be divided. And most of all, she's not convinced Ridge's decision isn't just reactive, driven by guilt and responsibility, not love. Deacon, on the other hand, is quietly devastated. He had finally let himself believe that he and Taylor might have something real. Something not shadowed by history or rivalry. But now, the baby changes everything. He pulls back, giving Taylor space. He tells her he'll support her no matter what she decides. You don't owe me anything, he says. But I'm here. If you need me. It's a moment that sticks with Taylor more than she expects. Because in the middle of all the chaos, Deacon is the only one who doesn't push her. He doesn't try to win. He doesn't make it about himself. And that simplicity, that quiet patience, is exactly what Taylor didn't realize she needed. As the weeks pass, the stress mounts. Ridge insists on being involved. He attends doctor visits. He brings food. He talks about names. But Taylor can feel herself drifting. Every time Ridge looks at her, she sees duty. A sense of doing what's right. Not passion. Not fire. Not choice. And Brooke? She isn't staying silent. She starts whispering in the ears of the foresters, questioning Taylor's motives, suggesting that she seduced Ridge during his confusion, pushing the idea that Ridge will regret this and that she'll be waiting when he does. Tired, overwhelmed, and unsure of her own heart, Taylor makes a drastic decision. She's leaving Los Angeles. She needs clarity. She needs peace. She needs space to raise her baby without the pressure of Ridge and the weight of Brooke's constant attacks. She tells Ridge she's going somewhere quiet. Maybe Europe, maybe back to Paris, maybe somewhere she won't be the center of a war between ex-lovers. Ridge is stunned. He begs her to stay. He promises to fight for her. But Taylor isn't convinced that staying would solve anything. I need to do what's right for this baby, she says. And right now, that means finding my own strength, not choosing between two men. But before she leaves, she asks Deacon to come with her. In a private, emotional scene, Taylor visits Deacon. She tells him she's walking away from Ridge, from the triangle, from the constant tug of war. And she tells him that in her darkest moments, it was his voice that helped her breathe. His honesty, his steadiness. And she doesn't know what the future holds, but she wants to explore it, with him. Deacon is floored. Are you sure? He asks. Taylor nods. No, but I've been sure before and it led me nowhere. Maybe it's time to take a chance on the unknown. He takes her hand. And without hesitation, he agrees. As the screen fades, Taylor and Deacon are seen boarding a plane, together. No guarantees. No promises. Just possibility. Ridge watches from afar, holding back tears. Brooke stands alone at the Forrester mansion, seething. And somewhere, a baby is growing, ready to reshape all of their lives. This is the bold and the beautiful. And nothing is ever simple.
Oh.